What just real quick, what would it take for you and like Charleston White to like have a debate without him getting mad and just want to yell?
No, without him talking and talking some sense. Anytime. I don't know why. You know, I thought, why Take Cheese ain't brought me on there? Because it'll take away from the fakes. See, the only thing a fake nigga is waiting on is for a real nigga to expose him. That's it.
You know, and that's one thing I've noticed about Charleston White. You know, you kind of mentioned this earlier. Like, if you have one side of something, that person's going to paint whatever narrative they want. But I think if you're a person, like for instance, not to really speak, not to, you know, shine no light on 6ix9ine, but every time he would say something, you would always have other rappers that could easily argue that. You know what I mean? This is like before like the guy was snitching and then after. So with Charleston White, you just have this guy that's just constantly saying stuff, but no one is able to like argue that, and the people aren't saying that.
That's because these shows make it to where they 180 instead of 360. And that's what happened. Let me show you the power of propaganda, because that's all this is propaganda. Like watching grass go or wrestling. This shit fake as fuck. Let me show you about propaganda and the power of social media, whether it's audio, video, print, when it's only a one-sided conversation. When Hitler controlled the Jews, he didn't use power. He used propaganda. He started dropping leaflets all across Germany where nobody could read nothing but what the fuck he said. Same way with most social media. You have people on the mic, but then they out of sight. And then they'll say names to where you'll hear names, I know this, they should do that. And really, they don't even know the person they talking about, let alone walk in the community they trying to talk about. They can't walk these streets. Look at who all out there. And all of them got problems, from Whack 100 to Big U to Cowboy. All those that want to be on social media and be king shit of Third Islands, they can't walk the streets just like that. And that's a shame. And this ain't criticizing nobody. Listen to the language. Exposed, telling, ratting. Look at what they talking about. But that shit don't matter on the streets. Money can't buy wisdom. That comes from experience. So listening is learning, and history is knowledge. So at the end of the day, it's unfair that guys could have a platform, but even more importantly, that you have careless listeners. And then if there's some type of threat or repercussion because of the words that are being said, now you got a problem. You can't have it both ways. We're going to introduce testimony. Well, we ain't talking about Charleston White. We're talking about a young man that's been in jail since the age of 14 and 15. And that's one of the other areas that I address. And that's the juvenile delinquency and juvenile hall. I do it in Los Angeles, where I feel that 15, 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds that can't smoke, can't vote, can't buy alcohol, can't drive, how should they be able to get their life taken when they made indecisions, such as Charleston White at age 14 with 3 other young men, ages 2 at 15 to 16. I've known plenty of people that have toned at that age, from the time I was that age and all the way through to where somebody has told before the other one, because they crack. But what's the problem with Charleston White in this case is the fact that at 45 years old, he's calling up to the parole board and sending messages to where he's telling the parole board don't release a young man that he got incarcerated. And I think that's unfair, that he should be doing that. And at the end of the day, that's what's bringing about the paperwork that was released. But at the end of the day, for me and Charleston White to get up on the stage and talk, it's gonna have to damn near be pay for bill. Whatever they paying him, he gonna pay me. But I bet you this, I will eat him up. Mm-hmm. There's no competition, none. And it ain't even about him snitching. We'll just talk about our accomplishments and what we do. I don't need to talk about who I am. It's what the fuck I do. Right now, I'm on his ass. He made the threat and the challenge that nobody can pull out any paperwork that would say I'm a snitch. And out his own words, you seen on Cam Capone, he said a snitch is one that tells to get favors after they did a crime where they all was together.
So when he committed the crime that he spoke about, I believe on Say Cheese, where I guess like he was in the car and someone was on the window or something. Anyways, someone had lost their life, right?
Michael Levitt.
Okay, R.I.P. to that man. So the fact that he did tell on his friends, and now he's publicly saying that he will call the police on people, do you think it's strange that this generation, that he has a fan base of people who still respect him, even though he's the type of person that he says the stuff that he says?
Well, first of all, Charleston White ain't a snitch. When you say the word snitch, what do everybody say? Show me the paperwork.
Right.
I challenge Charleston White to show you how dumb and careless y'all is. Show me the paperwork where you snitched. I'll wait. You even name where he snitched. Him calling up to say that old boy from 5-5 had a phone. When most people talk about that, they don't consider that snitching. They say, man, that bitch called the police and got my phone taken. That's it. That's all. They don't go to talk about she snitched on me, because it's minute. That's what bitches do. Now, let's look at his wolf and fake car. He said he gonna sue Soulja Boy.
It ain't gonna happen.
No. My question to you is, has it happened?
No.
Okay.
It ain't gonna happen. Soulja, he ain't gonna...
No, it don't matter about Soulja. I know about the law. The shit he's saying, if you know law, is so preposterous, it's nothing to even listen to. He said he was going to sue Wack for defamation. Nothing happened. But back to what he said about him being in the car, he was there. But here go one of the glaring defects in what he say on the internet, and y'all don't do your fact check that this transcript will show. And you got it on what I sent you. It's the fact that on the internet, he'll holler out, I killed a white man. That's what he told Wack 100 when he was on Clubhouse. All he screamed was, I killed a white man. I killed a white man. I killed a white man. That's what he told the public. But when he signed that deal to tell on a young man, and they asked him on that stand, who killed that white man, Michael Levin? And he sat right there and said, the man in the gray suit pulled the trigger and killed Michael Levin. So now.
That's weird. He told on someone, but now he claims that he did it, essentially.
He's lying. That's why I say everything he do is fake. Name something he did real. He might say some things that make sense, but as far as the antics, he's not a snitch. He's a rat. It's a big difference. You did a crime. Then he said this. Why would anybody be mad at me or what we trying to do to get a young man out of jail? But not only that could change the juvenile justice system in its totality as it stands now, of the oppression of black and brown kids, where we feel that's too young of age. See, I attack that. And this is just, I'm from Cali. Why he ain't doing this? He ain't trying to help this young man. He's calling up to the board to still ruin a 15-year-old life. Let's look at the 3 kids that fucked with Charleston White. One's dead, one got 99 years, and one got a release date of 2066 because of Charleston White's giving material statements for the testimony in return for leniency. Let's look at the next thing he lied about, since we're going to talk about fact checks. Charleston White sat up and said on Vlad TV, oh, I was so smart at 14, I told him to go report the car stolen. That's not what he said on the report. He said that DJ, the oldest, who had bought his mother car, he said after they did the murder, he said, man, I'm finna report the car stolen. They gave the gun to Charleston White, and with his dumb, goofy ass, took his shirt off, rolled it up, and threw it on the roof. But a girl knew Charleston White that went to school and told her mother at the scene of the crime, I know Charleston White. She knew his name. He go to junior high or high school with me. The police came, took him to the substation. They showed him a yearbook. And she picked Charleston White, Antoine Doolittle, and Antoine Jackson. She didn't know the four. So they go and pick Charleston White up first. And at the same time, simultaneously, in Texas, when you report a car stolen, they got to come to your house and do it. So at the same time, Charleston White don't got busted, and the homicide detective seen him in the back of the police car and went to talking to him, and the next thing you know, Charleston driving him to the rooftop where he threw the gun. They climbed up on a wooden fence, Detective Parker from homicide, and he told him, I see a piece of cloth. That's what it said in your testimony. Not a shirt. It says, I see cloth, like he said. So they opened it and immediately stopped, sealed off the area because they knew they had got the murder weapon. That happened 9/18/91. 30 days later, Charleston was in court by itself, making an agreement to testify against everybody. And then they took them to a certification hearing that made them adults, and they left Charleston White in juvenile hall. And that's why Charleston never was on his way to prison. He was only going to get a juvenile sentence, but on the internet he says the people felt sorry for me, and they said I got too much, and they changed my life, when in fact he sold out and gave up the life. So to me, when he talk about he killed a white boy, I don't even pay no attention. What you actually did was kill 3 black youths and took their life to save your life. And it's simple as that. One is dead. At 15, bro. I was in jail at 15. I know what level of thinking you should be on. That wasn't right. But at the end of the day, for you name slayers that say, oh, he was young. That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck. So what I mean by that is, I understand that. So see, we ain't got no beef with that. Everybody should be given. Everybody don't did it. I know 100 motherfuckers, high-end cases. So him telling at an early age, I give him an excuse, a pass. But I do not give exception to him at 45, the same day as we speak today, and he's still hindering a man's freedom. That's wrong. So we got 2 ways where I'm correct. He challenged anybody to find paperwork.
He said he get $50,000 too. He said,
That's what he said.
I see that.
So now, why don't we just do this? I can borrow $50,000 from Joey Badass, and y'all bring $10,000. And some of the proceeds from the money I win, I will get the documents like I got them for the same amount I paid as a fee. And then you go back and say, Melvin's correct. In fact, I'll challenge anybody in the world, including Charleston White. Why don't we do this? Take me to Say Cheese with the documents I got. And let Say Cheese and this nigga look at them. I bet you he won't say they ain't true.
Sean Cotton got to make it happen, man.
No, Sean Cotton be playing the bullshit, and he was an all right host, but then you got one-sided for sound bites and likes. We trying to save a person's life. That shit don't matter in this game. You gonna either respect one that's trying to be a savior, that's trying to give back to the community, one that has a voice of reason, or the one that has the sense of a nigga that just committed treason, nigga. Don't fuck with me in this game. Right is right, wrong is wrong. My nuts hang way too long.